This lake behind me, Lake Vyrnwy, is where, as a teenager, I first saw a bird of prey in the wild. But today, I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about a bird of prey that lives here in the heart of the Welsh countryside. The hills stretch on in every direction, and the sky feels bigger than usual. It's the kind of place where you find yourself looking up without really thinking about it. Not because something is already there, but because something might be. Sometimes, if you wait long enough, a shape appears above the trees. Not fast, not sudden, just drifting. Effortless. Almost as if it belongs to the landscape itself. And when it finally passes overhead, it's very hard to look away. Out here in the Welsh hills and mountains, there's a bird that almost disappeared from the skies completely. By the end of the 19th century, it had vanished from Scotland, England and Ireland. Only a small number were still holding on here in Wales. For a while, this landscape was one of the last places left where it could still be seen. But thanks to protection and careful reintroduction work led by the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, the RSPB, and other conservation groups, it slowly began to return, and today it's once again part of these skies. The red kite. One of Britain's most recognisable birds of prey, measuring around 60 to 70 centimetres in length, with a wingspan reaching 150 to 170 centimetres. It's a large bird, but one built more than elegance than power. Up close, the red kite has a distinctive appearance. Its pale grey-white head stands out immediately, along with a sharp hooked beak designed for tearing food. Beneath that, rich reddish-brown feathers run across the body, streaked with darker markings that give it a slightly rugged appearance. Even sitting quietly among the branches, it's a bird that's difficult to overlook. But when it takes to the skies, that it becomes truly famous. In flight, this bird has one feature that makes it intensely recognisable: the long, deeply forked tail, constantly twisting and adjusting as it glides through the air, helping it steer with remarkable precision. It's this distinctive shape that gave the red kite its name, and once you know what you're looking for, it becomes very difficult to mistake it for anything else. High above the Welsh countryside, the red kite isn't just drifting aimlessly through the sky, it's searching. Like many birds of prey, its eyesight is incredibly sharp, allowing it to spot movement far below from remarkable distances. Even from high overhead, every little goes unnoticed. Every field, every road, every movement below is being watched. But I didn't travel to Wales alone on this trip. I came with a friend who you'll probably meet a little later on. Together the journey brought us to Gigrin Farm Red Kite Feeding Centre, a place now well known for red kite feeding. The feeding centre was established in 1993 following the support and encouragement from the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, the RSPB. Before that, this land was simply a traditional Welsh sheep farm, and after driving through mid-Wales, I can confirm there are still one or two sheep about. But today, It's the skies above us we're here for. From inside the hide, the view in front of us felt almost like a theatre stage. Open countryside stretching out ahead, and all we can do now was wait. During the spring and summer months around 3 o'clock each afternoon, this landscape changes dramatically. Because according to what we've been told, somewhere between 1 and 200 red kites will gather here to feed. At first, there was nothing, just open sky. But it didn't take long before the first red kite appeared. The first arrival came quietly. Just one red kite drifting across the landscape, almost as if it had come to investigate before the others. But it didn't stay alone for long. Before long, another appeared. Then another. High above us, the red kites begin to circle together, watching, waiting, and slowly gathering overhead. And then something began to change. Looking out across the sky, more shapes started appearing in the distance. At first, just tiny silhouettes against the sky, but one by one, they kept coming. The longer we sat there, the more arrived. We've only been here a few minutes, and already you can see them starting to gather overhead. They don't rush in straight away, they circle first, watching, waiting for the right moment. I'm here with my friend Kyle today. He's joined me to watch them come in as well. Kyle?
Hey everyone.
The longer we sat and watched, the more continued to arrive. One became two became several, and before long, the skies above us were beginning to fill with movement. Red kites are highly opportunistic birds. They're always watching, always searching, and if one bird discovers an opportunity, it doesn't usually stay a secret for very long. Others begin to notice. A shape circling high above the hills quickly becomes another, then another, and before long, it felt though every direction we looked, another red kite was appearing. The longer you sit here, the more keep appearing. At first, you notice one or two, and then suddenly there are several circling overhead at the same time. Incredible. By now, it was becoming difficult to know where to look. Every few moments, another red kite would appear overhead. Some drifted effortlessly across the sky, while others circled above us, carried by the rising air currents. And with every passing minute, it felt like something bigger was beginning to happen. Red kites have varied diet. They feed on worms, insects, small mammals and amphibians. But they're also well known as scavengers, often searching for carrion and roadkill. Here at the feeding centre, around 1/4 ton of beef can be put out as a food supplement. Not to replace what they naturally find, but to give them a helping hand. By now, the skies above us begin to fill. They had to be over 100 up there, perhaps more. And the scene in front of us was becoming difficult to ignore. Then, a tractor appeared carrying the food. And almost intensely, the red kites began to circle overhead. And for a moment, it started to feel like something out of an Alfred Hitchcock film. Even after the feeding, the sky above us was still full of movement. Red kites continued drifting overhead, soaring low across the landscape. Some circled above us, while others passed close by, almost as if they had no intention of leaving just yet. And looking up, it still felt difficult to believe how many were here. Even after much of the activity had slowed, a few red kites still remained nearby. Some settled into the trees, perhaps resting after hours spent soaring above the Welsh countryside, while others stayed watchful. From their perch, those remarkable eyes continued scanning the landscape below, watching, analysing, searching for any opportunity they may have missed, and every now and then one would drop back down towards the ground, which gave us something we haven't had much earlier in the day, a chance to see them properly up close. Very different from watching distant silhouettes high above the hills. One bird in particular stood out. From our angle, it appeared much paler than the others, with far more white visible across the body and feathers, suggested it may have been a younger bird. Juvenile red kites often appear lighter than adults before developing the rich reddish tones seen later in life. Normally around this point I give my own thoughts on the experience, but this time I thought I'd let Kyle give his opinion first.
Totally worth seeing the red kites. They're majestic how they fly, how they move. Their colours pop really nicely, and it was just beautiful to see them up close like that.
For me, the first time I heard about red kites was through my dad. He always loved birds of prey like these. I've seen them before with him, but never quite like this. Never this close. Seeing these beautiful, almost phoenix-like birds soaring above us and gathering together during the feeding was something special. And honestly, I think Dad would have enjoyed this moment, because we both loved red kites.